Good morning from Houston. It's Cassandra Knight with Keller Williams, The Woodlands, and Magnolia, and I'm here with Ross Davis from Kingwood IT.
What's up, people?
Alrighty, so today we're going to talk a little bit about you and what you do. So tell me just a little bit about how you got started in IT.
Yep. So and for those of you who don't know, when people ask me what do I do for a living, I typically just say I'm an IT relationship therapist because we perform a lot of therapy with our customers, and people can kind of understand that. So as far as how I got started, it really began right after college. So first of all, if you've ever got a college degree, most people know that you never end up using that degree. So I ended up with a finance degree, mostly because sadly I was a big fan of Cheers.
Okay.
And I saw Norm sitting on this stool drinking beer every day, and he was an accountant. And I'm like, if he can be an accountant, that seems easy enough. Let me go do that. And then I quickly realized accounting was not for me. So then I pivoted over to finance because I love the movie Wall Street. So
okay.
I based all my life choices based on movies and TV shows that I like. So then I thought, okay, Wall Street's cool. Let me do that. And so then I got my finance degree, and then I quickly find out that nobody wants to hire somebody right out of college with no experience to do anything with the stock market. So it was either be an entry-level bookkeeper, or my other option was to sell life insurance. No offense to you life insurance people out there, but that was not going to be me. And so then I stumbled into the IT world. So I had literally just learned how to put a modem in a computer. Yes, I'm 52 years old, so I know what a modem is, and I knew nothing else, but that was enough to get me an entry-level job doing PC help. That combined with my parents had gotten me a computer for graduation gift. For graduating college, they said, we'll go get you a computer built, which back then was not a common thing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was looking at magazines and then telling these guys, this is what I think I want. They built that computer for me, and it was horrible. I had to take it back probably 3 different times because this is before internet. So when you get a blue screen on your computer, you unplug it and you take it back to the place that built it and say, fix it. And after about 3 or 4 of those trips, that was not fun, I finally decided I'm going to learn how to fix this myself. So I had an uncle of mine that knew just enough about computers. He taught me how to do some basic things. And that's what started my obsession with, oh, look, I know how to fix a computer now. And then graduating college, not finding any jobs that I really like, and then here's an opening at a company I already worked for, doing a very junior level PC tech job. So I applied for it, they gave me the job, and then I quickly realized this is my calling. So then I went back to school to get IT related degrees so that I could actually do my job properly. And so for the next 7-8 years, I loved that job. But then I got promoted. I did really good at this job, but then I kept getting promoted to a job that all of a sudden I no longer liked, and it was programming, and I hated it.
Okay.
And I had no idea why. And it wasn't till really years later I realized what I hated about it was the thing that I loved about IT wasn't actually the tech stuff, it was helping people. And I was no longer helping people. I was just looking at programs and debugging them, and it was just miserable.
Okay.
So once I realized what I really missed was helping people, well, now I've promoted myself into a career that I can't go backwards in because I need this money. So somebody was just like, hey, dummy, why don't you just go start your own business? And so like most entrepreneurs, I'm like, well, I'm really good at IT, so let me just start a business doing IT. You quickly realize that's not the same thing. Running a business and being really good at what the business is are 2 separate things. So for the last 17 years I've been learning how to run a business as opposed to just being the IT guy. But that's really how I got started. It was just this passion for helping people. So.
Okay, but my question is, so you went this first time and
Yeah.
you built a computer with these people at a store.
Yeah.
And they didn't guide you at all on like how not to get that blue screen?
Oh, no.
They just said, okay, that's what you want, and put it together.
It's kind of like that old skit from Saturday Night Live, Nick Burns, where he just says, move, and then get out of the way and let me fix this kind of a thing. Except they never fixed it. They were not competent at all. So
okay.
They were just, I want him out of here because they're not making money off of this repair. So they just wanted a quick fix and get it out.
So it's like a big box store like Best Buy or something
like that. It was.
Okay.
It was before even Best Buy sold like custom built computers. So, but yeah, it was just a horrible experience. So that stuck with me.
I didn't even think about you know, when you go to stores like that, they don't even like know what they're doing.
Well,
like building something
sometimes
like
you don't know who you're even going to meet. Like, so, like example, my staff, it's been the same staff for years now. So when you come in, you're going to meet one of 3 people or myself, and it's pretty consistent. So it's like we get to know our customers and we build the relationships with them. So we know them quite well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So running the business, has it been super hard?
It's been challenging.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot. But what I've also learned too is, because I've learned a lot the hard way, the one thing that I get people all the time is I'll get business owners, brand new business owners, they somehow find me and they start asking me questions. And so I absolutely love talking to brand new business owners and kind of sharing the experiences that I've shared to try to help them avoid some of those bumps in life that I learned along the way. And you know, we met through BNI, and BNI has been a huge blessing to my business. Like, that's been one of those things where if I had been part of a BNI group when I started my business, I can only imagine where I'd be right now. But you know, doors open for a reason, and everything has a time and a place. But I would say between the BNI has really helped my business a lot. Not just building relationships and getting referrals, but just learning how other business owners operate and the struggles that they deal with. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we're a therapist, so we've got to really understand what that business owner is going through, and that's why I like those entrepreneurs, because I'm one of those people. I get that. I know what it's like. I know what they're struggling with, where sometimes you just want to make payroll, or you just want to be able to pay this one bill, and you feel like you're never going to get caught up in this life. But you will. If you meet enough people and the right people, you'll not only get caught up, you'll be those people that become a blessing for you. You'll get to return the favor, be a blessing for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you said your team is just 4 people, just 3 guys and you, right?
Well, in our office, so where the magic happens behind the scenes, if you will, is so we have partnerships with all kinds of different vendors, from the Microsoft experts to server experts, Dell experts. So we're just a phone call away from somebody that knows the answer that we need. So I'm a book nerd. So especially when it comes to self-help and business books, I could just start rattling them off. But the book Who Not How is a hugely influential book for me, because it talks about, at the end of the day, business owners, they focus and obsess so hard on how do I get this done, when they really should be asking, who do I need to get this done? So that way we can focus on whatever our passion is. So I am the who for a lot of people that want to know, well, how do I get this computer to go faster? Why isn't my internet faster than what it needs to be? And instead of trying to figure out those answers and using ChatGPT and a million other things to try to find the answer, all they need to know is just know me. I can get this.
Don't knock ChatGPT.
I know, it has its place.
Okay, so what was I going to ask you? So you do more of like the building computers, not so much the code, or do you have people that do code?
I do have people that, if you need programming done, applications built, absolutely. Do we build computers? We do. I would say the majority of our business actually comes from other businesses who can't afford to have IT help full time, and so they just put us on a retainer or use us when they need us. So we're like the help desk for literally probably 50 to 75 different businesses in the Houston area. So when they have a problem, they don't know what it is, call Kingwood IT, because one, they know they're going to get somebody to answer the phone live. There's none of this press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And typically, if they're one of our regular customers, we already know who they are, and so we don't need to explain the whole process again. Like, they're not strangers to us. We know exactly what kind of, we can see the history of what's going on. We remember things because we invest in our customers as far as like building that relationship. We care about them. We know when they last went on vacation. We know what they're going on with their family drama sometimes, because again, when you're therapy, you hear a lot of things that have nothing to do with your computer, and that's okay.
It's like being a hairstylist.
A little bit, yes. Only hopefully we don't cut your ears off.
Yeah, 100%. So tell me some of the craziest stories you've had in IT.
I don't know that I could share all of them, but so a common one, this happens more than once, and it was talked about in our BNI chapter, was the spaghetti networks, where somebody will call us in and say, hey, I've got a problem, this computer's not getting on the internet, but all the other computers are working. Okay, great, it's not an internet issue. And it almost inevitably starts to troubleshoot, like, where's the computer at? Okay, now where's the server room at where your modems and your routers are? And sure enough, it's like a scene from Alien. There's just guts hanging out, cables, and you literally have a modem that's just dangling in midair by one cable. That's because it has nowhere to go, and they're just, the cables are everywhere, and there's probably one that's disconnected somewhere. And so one of the things that we'll do is we'll clean that up and not just patch the problem, but actually fix it. Typically when I see those spaghetti networks, it's because they called an IT person in and they just, what's the quickest thing to get me in and out of here? Instead of, no, this needs to be fixed permanently. And so we'll sit down with these customers and get them straightened out so they don't have to deal with that again. And we've literally had customers that when we've cleaned it up and they see the closet, they're like, oh my gosh, I can breathe again. Because it gives them anxiety to see that, knowing this is not good, but they don't know what to do. It's overwhelming. So we'll take a lot of that stress away from them.
Absolutely. So there's a movie, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it's about NASA, and it's about the computers and the women who used to sit in a room and basically run numbers, and that's what they were called. They were called computers. And then it kind of transitions into these big machines that were computers, and these women taking over and kind of working on them because it took their job. It took what they were going to do. And that's kind of what I think about when I think about like y'all working with computers, is these like huge things, but it's not.
It's not.
It's so much smaller than that.
And most of the time, yes, sometimes it can be the computer, but a lot of times it might be the user, and we just need to train them and educate them on what not to do.
That's funny.
And how to do it better. But again, because we take the therapy approach, our goal is to never make anybody feel shamed or dumb or stupid. And I have to remind people all the time. They'll come in and they'll say, I feel so stupid, I should know this. And I'm like, no, look, I don't know how to change the oil in my car. Should I? Maybe, but I don't. And I pay somebody to do it. So just look at us as like we're the people changing the oil for you. It's like, it's okay if you don't know how to do that. That's what we're here for. Absolutely. That way you can have time to go on vacation, do your road trips, do other things while we go and take care of this stuff.
Yeah. So B&I, you've been in it 10, 11 years.
So just over 11 years now.
11 years.
Yeah.
And, I feel like we met before then, I think. We did. Eventually, it was at the local
link up.
Yeah, yep, that's the first place we met.
Yes.
But we really started building a relationship when we got into B&I.
Yes.
So I know, like, you go to conferences and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Recently you spoke for a group in Indiana. Was that it?
Well, no. So I've spoke for a group in Arizona. So I met somebody who's become one of my best friends who lives in India. But because of those B&I connections, it's amazing the doors that get opened up. Like, B&I is so powerful. It's one of those things, to me, B&I is like pickleball. I just can't talk enough about it. But people are probably sick of hearing about it. But it's done so much for me personally, as a business owner, and just the people that I've been able to meet. It's probably the most rewarding thing I've done, aside from starting my own business.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think what else we could talk about. What would be your advice to somebody who is, thinking about going into IT?
Yeah. So I get that quite a bit. The first thing I ask them is why? Because there's a lot of people that they're trying to chase money. And I can tell you right now, a lot of people understand this. They've learned it the hard way. You don't chase money. You chase what you love to do. The money will come if you're good enough at it, or you meet enough people, money will be there. But it's really about chasing what are you passionate about, because you'll find out pretty quickly it doesn't matter how much money they pay you. If you're not passionate about it, one, you're probably not going to be very good at it. Two, you're not going to be able to do it for very long. It's very difficult to do a job that you hate. So I'm lucky. On Monday mornings, I cannot wait to get to work. Like the weekend, I got to play, and now I'm like, I miss work. I want to go back to work. Literally, my wife, we were talking about doing a vacation where there's almost going to be back-to-back vacations where it'll be like 2 straight weeks. And I'm like, I need some work in between. I need work to kind of relax so I can get ready for a vacation again.
So do you, you don't take work with you? It's something that you're able to leave, probably because of your team and your background.
Exactly. So one of the things that I've learned running a business is you need to trust other people to do this, and just hire the right people that have the same caring and passion that you do, so that way you don't have to take this with you. Because at the end of the day, if I don't have the energy or the capacity to help somebody, then what good am I? And so when I can hire people to take over some of that stuff for me, it allows me to run the business so that they can do the tech stuff. Like you were talking about wanting to get a custom built computer, and I need to have my people do that, because I no longer know how to build one.
Okay.
That's how I got started, and that's how I learned, but I don't do that anymore because I'm running a business now. And so yeah, if there's some advice I could give some business owners out there, it's find what you're passionate about your business in and just focus on that one piece, and then hire everybody else you can to do the rest of it.
There's a podcast that I've listened to before that talks about, business owners really stress out about who they bring into their business.
Sure.
And I've seen that with, a couple close friends of ours that, they're in the hiring stage and they're like really stressed out about who they bring in. And the podcast said something that I've kind of held on to for my whole since I've heard it, because eventually I want to have a team. That's something in real estate, when you get a little bit higher up, you start joining a team because you need help with all the listings and all the appointments and everything. But it said, when you hire somebody who has the passion and the knowledge, 75% of what you do, because you can help them make up the rest of the 100.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's something, as a business owner, you should hold on to, that they don't need to have 100%, because your expectations are going to be so high for that person. Just allow them to have that 75%.
Yeah, and I've seen, the number one reason I've seen businesses fail, and ones that I've worked with, is because, one, they don't trust their employees, or two, they just hire the first person that comes along with their resume and says you're hired. And the one piece of advice I was given early on, and it's the hardest thing to follow, even though it's the most obvious, is be very slow to hire and very quick to fire. So take your time when you hire somebody, and have zero regrets about letting them go, because at the end of the day, this is your baby. It's like getting a babysitter. Would you put up with a babysitter who's neglectful and doesn't take care of your kids and doesn't watch them? No. The minute you find out they're not doing their job, you're going to cut them loose. Your business is your baby, so you need to make sure you can trust these people and that they know what they're doing, or at least they're coachable and can learn after one mistake, like how to not do that again. And
it's really hard, I know, like, as a small business owner, because you get so close with those employees. Like, that's, you have a big relationship with those people. You spend, like in your office, it's so close, y'all probably spend every day in and out with each other. We do. And so letting someone go like that is probably very difficult. No,
it's we were sitting through a speaker that talked about, hey, when you run a business, it's not family, it's business. And I'm just like, no, I do treat my employees like family. Heck, my office admin is my best friend, and she was a groomswoman in my wedding. And so these employees of mine, they are like family to me, because I trust them with my baby. So, but you definitely have to draw a line between being a business owner and being that friend. But if you're consistent about drawing that line, and you know how to do it in a caring way, they get it. They understand sometimes I have to be the boss, and they respect that, because at the end of the day, they all understand we're all doing the same thing. We're trying to grow this business because this business feeds us, but two, this is also a business where we're putting a lot of emotional investments into our clients, because we care about them. When they come in stressed out, we take on that stress, and we want to be the heroes that go and fix their problems. And because they all get this is what we're really about, so it's helping these people so that they're not like me, having to take something back 3 and 4 times because the person's just not listening to us. It keeps us all in focus, for sure, on what the big picture is.
Well, I mean, all of that even relates back to me. Like, for example, I'm just one person, but it is a business, and I do run it. And, hiring and firing, you wouldn't think that's something that a single entity in a business would do, but as a real estate agent, I absolutely do fire clients. There's been times where clients have come in and they're just, we don't work well together, or maybe their expectations are too high for what I can provide, and so I'll refer them to someone else. But that's still something, as a business owner, whether you're one person or you have a staff of 100 people, you still have to struggle with that sometimes. And setting those boundaries for yourself and your, people around you, I feel like that's definitely something that most people wouldn't think in real estate you would have to do, but it is. And I hear a lot of real estate agents, they've been in the business 30 years and they're like, I've only fired 2 clients ever. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, but I fired those clients because we didn't work well together.
Right.
And so, not that you should fire everybody because it's hard. You should try your best, but it's still something that you need to be prepared for.
Right. Well, the one thing I've found is I would say the majority of people that come into our shop are amazing people. They're wonderful people. They have kind hearts. Every now and then one slips through the cracks that doesn't quite fit that, and we have zero problems letting those people go. Like, we don't, because at the end of the day, I have to protect my employees first. This idea that the customer's always right, false. False, false, false. The right customer is always right, but not everybody's the right customer. So we have to have, when I'm interviewing for somebody calls us because they're like, hey, they're interviewing Kingwood IT to possibly be their new techs for their business. I'll be upfront with them. I'll say this is actually a two-way interview, because not only do I need to make sure that you're a good fit for me, I know you want to make sure I'm a good fit for you. It needs to work. It needs to be a win-win situation. I will not take on a client if I don't think they're a good fit for whatever reason, and a lot of it is going to be personality. And you would think in the IT world it's zeros and ones, it's black and white. Who cares about the personalities? Well, for most IT companies that might be true, but for us, we're about the people first, and so it's all about building that relationship. I want to see that company succeed. I want to actually care about that business owner and what they're going through and feeling, which means I've got to be able to relate to them, and they've got to. I want to see that they treat their employees the way I treat my employees. If I see a business owner who just treats these employees like we can cut them in a heartbeat and they mean nothing to them, I probably don't want to have anything to do with that person as a business owner. It's just not something I can relate to, and it's at the end of the day, I just want to build a relationship with people that are like me. And I've been blessed to be able to do that so far, and I've got some amazing clients that I would do anything for them because I care about them. And so when they happen to call me on a Saturday, I know it's because something's really bad's gone down, because they'll respect my time. They know what can wait till Monday and what can't. The people who don't respect your time, those are the ones you need to cut loose. The one thing I've found out is time is the single most valuable asset that I have in this world. It's the one thing you cannot recreate, you can't add more to it, and you don't know when it's going to be gone. So I respect my time, I respect my customers' time, I need them to respect mine as well. And if we don't have that mutual respect, those are the customers that won't be around long, for sure.
Absolutely. And not just partnering with clients that are good, but also other people in other businesses that are good. When I first moved to Texas, because I'm originally from Georgia, I worked in the food industry. And when I moved here, I found out the food industry here is a little bit different than the food industry back home, because back home they very much treat you like family. And maybe it's just because the companies that I worked with for such a long time. But also, when I moved here, I started working for a company, and the owners were just terrible to their staff. And then one day, the owner threw a chair at one of the staff members. And I walked out of the building that night, and I said, I want to do something where I don't have to work under someone like that, where I can choose the people that I partner with.
Yeah.
And so, now people ask me, hey, do you know someone that does this? And I'll say, I don't know if I know someone that does that, but I know someone I know, like, and trust that knows someone that does that. Let me ask them if they think that would be a good fit for you. And so if I don't know someone that does what they need, I find someone I trust to refer out to them. And same for just for you, for IT, or for my lenders. All the lenders that I refer out for real estate, I know, like, and trust them. We actually hang out. We do dinner together. We've gone bowling. We've gone to dinner. All kinds of, we spend time together, and I get to know them, not just in their business, but as a person. Because I want you, as my client, to be taken care of. And I feel like that's really important to you as well.
Oh, yeah. And the whole know, like, and trust people, it's huge. And the cool thing is, when you're very guarded about the people that you let in, the people that you do let in typically have very similar friends too, and so they open up the doors to, again, people that are actually going to help you grow, want to see you grow, because they're all like-minded. And the people that are just takers in this world, who just want what's in it for them, you got to identify them and weed them out, because if that's how they are, I guarantee you their friends are the same way. Because the people who are guarded, who really care about investing in relationships and want to give first, they're not going to put up with takers. So they're not going to have those type of people in their circles, whereas the people that are takers, they don't care. As long as they can use somebody, then that's who's in their circle, and that's also who you're bringing in, that's like, yeah, you've got to guard yourself. And especially as a business owner, because again, that time is that most precious commodity we have, and we protect our time and make sure that whoever we're spending that time with, these are the people that are going to not only be people we want to serve, but people that want to serve us.
Absolutely. All right, so we got maybe like 5-ish minutes left. If there was just one thing you could tell to the next business owner that sits in this room, what would it be? Anything in the world that you want to tell them, what would you say?
So I would definitely, first thing I would want to ask them is if this is your passion, what is it specifically that you were passionate about? I want to know what their passion is so they understand and remember that. So that's where they put their focus on. So at the end of the day, you put all your valuable time into what you're passionate about. So that way you will, one, enjoy this business, and then two, quickly hire and get other people to help you with the other parts of your business that maybe you're not passionate about bookkeeping, but you need it done. So find somebody that can do that. That's how you build a business that lasts forever. Is eventually you've got to understand you have to spend a little bit of money, invest in that, but just believe in yourself, believe in your passion, and you will build a business that will succeed for years.
And so you would say your passion is just helping people, right?
It is. It's definitely I'm a people pleasing person, but to have somebody that if I do something like all of a sudden their mouse starts working on their laptop again, it's amazing how annoying that little thing is that they've been putting up with for so long. And I'm able to fix that for them. Or they bring in a computer and they're like, yeah, I've had it for a few years. And then I have to ask the question, well, how many years have you had it? And then they don't really know. And then we go and we look up their serial number and find out this has been an 11-year-old computer. And we quickly realize it's time to get a new one. Their first thought is, I don't want to change this computer. I like this. Like, I finally got it the way it is. It's like a grocery store. Don't ever change the aisles in the grocery store. I'll never go here again. Well, they don't understand. Within usually a few hours, we can take this hard drive, mirror it to a brand new computer, and it's like everything's the same but now faster and working. It's like getting that pebble out of your shoe and you're like, why didn't I do this sooner?
I didn't even know that y'all could do that until you talked about that one day, that you could like basically take my computer as it is right now, copy it, and put it on a brand new, faster, newer model, actually efficient. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, in fact, we do that daily. In fact, we did it yesterday. We had a business. The owner was calling me, panicked. The sky is falling. I'm like, what's wrong? It's like they have this one laptop that runs all of their specialized printers, and it has very specialized software on it. And she said, if this computer's dead and I have to start over, it's going to take me weeks to get with these vendors to put this software back on. So we had that computer in our hands within an hour, and within 2 hours, we already had the hard drive extracted, put into another computer, and it turned out it was not the hard drive that was wrong. It was the rest of the computer. It had a swollen battery. It had all these other issues because they had had it for 6 or 7 years, and it just finally died. But we were able to pull that hard drive out, put another computer. They were probably down for a total of 3 hours, and they thought they were going to be down for 3 weeks. So it's almost like they didn't even skip a heartbeat. And that owner was so happy that, one, we were able to fix the problem, but two, fix it quickly. And the reason we're able to fix that quickly is because I know this customer. I've had this friendship with her for probably over a decade, and so I understand how important that is. And so I'm telling my guys, stop everything, get this thing fixed, and they did. Again, when you have those relationships with your customers and they have those with you, you understand what's important and where your time needs to go to make sure that they can do what they need to do.
That's really awesome. Like, just it's, as long as I've known you, I can see that you're all in what you do. And, your clients, like everyone I've met that knows you, has heard of you, they always speak good things of you. And so it's really nice to have that relationship with you as well and build that. And I love watching your business and seeing it grow, and seeing you in BNI. I feel like I see you speaking at conferences and on, the Above and Beyond calls and all of that. I think it's really awesome that I have the opportunity to know you and get to spend time with you. So,
well, I'm just honored that you actually wanted me on your podcast. So I think this is freaking awesome. I love that you do this, and that this is just about you pouring into other people. See, you're my people that just want to help other people, and they put that first. Those are I can't find enough Cassandras in my life.
It's funny, someone asked me the other day, they were like, so why do you do the podcast? And I was like, so when I started in real estate, I really wanted to learn. And I thought other people probably wanted to learn too. And that's the whole reason that I started it. And so funny, I meant to mention this earlier, but I just got a text message this morning that said, "Happy anniversary with KW." So today is actually my 1 year as an official real estate agent. So I didn't even know that until this morning. And so I've been doing this for a year now. And the podcast has been one of the things that I've really appreciated, because I've had people come on like you, and I get to build relationships, get to learn, and know things that I didn't even know before. From Trace with pest control, I've had Dane with fencing, I've had Dylan Flanagan with roofing, I've had Cassie Chapman with title. Like, it's just so great to have those people come on and teach and get to learn, because not everybody has the resources to know these people or know what they do. And so I've been really blessed to have the podcast that way. So
that's awesome. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank
and
you.
If somebody else wants to get on your podcast, what do they need to do?
Oh, yeah. Just send me a message, or you can give me a call. My phone number is 706-983-0129. Send me a message on Facebook, Instagram. I'd love to have you on. I do this once a month, and I'd love to expand it. Someone actually asked me to start doing panels where I bring on multiple people in the same type of field.
Yeah.
And I'd love to get that together if anybody's interested in that. But I think that's it for today. So,
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Cassandra.
Thank you, guys, and we'll
Bye,
see
everybody.
you soon.
Sweet.
Yeah.